All right, so today we're going to be going over the first really successful video that I made. Obviously, I'm still not like elite level of YouTuber, but for me, 30,000 views on this video was huge. When I started out, all of these videos down here, like this one had like 100. This one got a couple thousand. This one got like 30. This one got like 50, even though I commissioned a mod and I made a video that felt really good. This one was more popular for like no reason, just because I think the concept was better. So I was working on this video for like 4 months because I was learning to edit, doing a whole bunch of different stuff. This thumbnail went through a whole bunch of different iterations. I'm almost wondering if maybe I can go through DMs with like Savic. Let me look up thumbnail and see if I can find some spots. Here's one. So here was one of the early iterations of the thumbnail. Look at this. Sonic Adventure 2's most challenging stage. Look at one of these early iterations of the thumbnail. And then eventually this is what Savic made. The hardest stage. And I mean, it's not even necessarily bad. It's just kind of like for a video that's very serious, it really he didn't put much time or effort into this at all. He was just like, I'd probably do something like this. Obviously he would put more effort in, but it's just funny. Yeah. Let's see if I can find some more maybe. And then this was the very first iteration of it right here. Which now, let me see if I can pull up the actual version that we ended up going with. But yeah, so the idea for this was that we really wanted, I wanted the loading screen, and then put Speedrun Evolution as the title of the series in front, full view. This was the very first video I made of this kind, so this one was really important. I wanted to get it right, and it went really well, as you can see. Boosted the rest of my channel, whole bunch of great stuff. And then through a whole bunch of different iterations, like let me tell you that my second thumbnail was this, and then my 10th thumbnail is this. And you probably don't even think it looks that much different. Here's the side-by-side, right? Sonic is brighter, more in contrast. The text is different down here. This is highlighted. It just, to me, looks so much cleaner. And it ended up boosting a lot of clicks. But yeah, I wanted to show those off a little bit. I thought that was pretty cool, just to see how it transitioned over time. Now, there was a few things for this video. Oh, the chapters died. Yeah, chapters on YouTube have been really weird lately. But yeah, look, like, I mean, it's a lot. Also, the word vomit down here for SEO, I guess. But yeah, so Green Forest to me was always a very interesting stage because during the time that I wasn't too active but was still paying attention to the game, I think was one of the most interesting. And it was focused around Green Forest. And it's still arguably the hardest, if not one of the hardest in the game, because of just how much there is. I've had this song right here in my back pocket for a really long time, and this was literally, I shit you not, the first part of the video that I made. This intro sequence. The first 30 seconds I had, and I was sitting on for 6 months. I was hyping this thing up. I was so fucking excited for it. Here it is. Let's play the intro. Today we're going to be looking into one of the most... Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking into one of the most difficult stages in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle speedrunning, and what makes it so difficult. While flashy and cool to watch, this stage became one of the most reset-heavy splits in Hero Story speedruns. This is a stage that separates the great runners from the best because of its insanely technical nature and the difficult strategies implemented. Step by step, we'll see what it took to get to this point. This is Green Forest, Sonic Adventure 2's most challenging stage. All right, it may not have looked like that much, but like for me, editing that and sitting down and like just watching, like working on that for like 3 or 4 hours. As someone who is like new to editing, I had to download every single world record. This is all of the world records. Almost every single one. I don't think it's everyone, but it's most of them. Like here, this is Sonic Guitar, the very first. Well, we have. Oh wait, no, this one was Giselle, I believe. So we have Giselle, the very first world record holder of Sonic Adventure 2 that's recorded. Then we go to Logan, one of the earlier ones, the first player on PC. Talon, the person to pass him. I don't. That might have been. That was from the Story Style record at the time. That was Katie's. It just shows so many records, and you won't even notice it. Like, a lot of the times, you might not even notice that it's changing. Like here. Not here. Like right in the middle of this task run. This is one of my most proud parts. Like, look at that change. Look how flawless that was. Like, you don't notice it in motion. And so this was like one of my proudest parts. The frame where he jumps off is the part where it switches to Katie's first record. And then it goes here, and because, like, I wanted the moment that he was off the Sonic was off the tree to be, like, symbolic in the way that, like, it's hard to explain if you don't really remember the lore very well, but there was the era where there was Mustache, Shabake, Emerlo. We'll get into that in the video. Dark Bro, all add in wall run. They all go fucking balls to the wall crazy. And the moment that they jump off the wall is Katie. And it stays Katie. That's Katie. This is Katie. This is Katie. And this is Katie. And it's symbolic in the way that it's literally just, this is where we are. This is the past, present, and future of this game right now. Juju on that beat, true. Katie's pop-off is great. But yeah, I put so much fucking time and effort into that, and I was so hype about it. I remember the night I rendered it, I sent it straight to M, and I was like, this shit is so fucking cool. I was like, I want to do this for a long time. But yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let the video play for a little bit. Watch a segment. Green Forest wasn't always the hardest stage in the speedrun. In fact, it was a pretty consistent and simple stage. Green Forest uses Sonic's speed-style gameplay, where the goal is to stay on the ground and build momentum. The first run we'll be looking into is Sonic Guitar's Hero Story World Record. Green Forest in the speedrun was done mostly as intended at first, with a few added strats. Here, Sonic Guitar uses one of the earliest optimizations in Green Forest, storage. In Sonic Adventure 2, most abilities Sonic has are mapped to the same button dubbed the Action button. This includes Somersault and Spin Dash. The question is, what happens when Sonic is neither somersaulting nor charging Spin Dash? Well, this. This in-between state is really important to know for speedruns because this allows us to go under barriers without having to lose our speed, and, more importantly for Green Forest, maintain the amount of time readying a Spin Dash. When you are holding the B button as Sonic interacts with an object, Sonic can maintain that state during the event, and if you hold B as Sonic lands, he will instantly start charging a Spin Dash. Sonic Guitar uses this to his advantage here to save almost a full second on each spring. He utilizes a loop skip to save a large amount of time by avoiding going through the loop and having to take a ramp. Performing another loop skip with finesse and style, Sonic Guitar capitalizes on even more time save here. So
There isn't much to be said about going up the tree here. Sonic Guitar takes the intended route, until he doesn't. When he reaches the top of the tree, he performs bungee skip to avoid the entire animation, which saves a large amount of time, as well as one more loop skip, and then finishes the stage normally.
yeah, I think it's I think if you do it max, Mikey, I don't know exactly. I haven't timed it myself, but I feel like I've been told it's probably like 0.7, 0.8, but I'm not actually sure. Anyway, I absolutely fucking hate it. It's so annoying because literally this was my first video where I was very serious about my voiceover, and voiceover shit is so hard if you've never done it before. I know I have it right here, so I'm gonna pull it out. This thing is a fucking godsend. This thing is a pop filter. You talk into it when you say P, it catches it. And it's a lot better. So I didn't have this for my first video, and you could tell. I'm so sorry, But also, I was uncomfortable doing the voiceover. I was like kind of talking into it, and I didn't want my roommates to hear, so I was kind of whispering a little bit and trying to be like chill and like whatever, and not really put much personality. But like, it's like you could just tell. And I just hate hearing it because the audio quality of the plosives, yes. The audio quality of my voiceovers got so much better after this video, and in the Crazy Gadget video, I did the blanket strat where you put a blanket over your head and your mic, and it sounds so good, dude. But yeah, I really like this section. The storage part, people really liked seeing like how that works. I thought I had like a good visual for it. I explained things well, but yeah.
In the many years after Sonic Guitar's Hero Story World Record, no major strategies were found in Green Forest, but that doesn't mean they didn't save time. Runners like Logan and Talon managed to push Green Forest average times lower and lower due to movement alone. Both Logan and Talon continued to push the Hero Story World Record during this era. Talon's final record in Hero Story was known as The Run for a long time. Days turned into weeks, months, and even years. And this run stood. The category would need innovation to push forward. Now, ask yourself this. When speedrunners find themselves up against a wall, what do they do?
Two things. I really fucked up here. One of the biggest mistakes in my life. But also, past the intro, this section right here was why I made the video. Because I had this part in my head. When speedrunners find themselves up against a wall, what do? And the whole point of the series is Speedrun Evolution, people evolving and pushing the limits of what was thought to be possible, right? Wall run was thought to be a task-only strat. And here are runners willing to implement it in RTA. So this moment with the song, the fade out, everything was exactly what I wanted. And I tinkered with this. This was one of the reasons the video took so long. Because I tinkered with this and there were so many different versions. I honestly should have rendered other versions of this moment. But yeah.
Push forward. Now, ask yourself this. When speedrunners find themselves up against a wall, what do?
He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce, scrap, 1-4. Ace, deuce, scrap, 1-4. Ace, deuce, scrap, 1-4. Ace, deuce, scrap, 1-4. Ace, deuce, ace, deuce, scrap, 1-4. Scrap, 1-4. Who wants the hard 4? 5 wants 4. Check me out, y'all.
Hero Story had been pushed to an insane level, and this led to runners searching for anything they could find to save time.
So two things real quick. Yeah, so the thing I fucked up on, Cherry pointed this out after, what do speedrunners do when they find themselves up against a wall? They run up it. It's just a fucking layup, man. It's like, it writes itself, bro. What the fuck? But yeah, that part was sick, and in hindsight, I think this is probably one of the reasons that retention was so fucking good, because it has a really hype moment and a montage 3 minutes in. You're like, damn, this guy's really going crazy. Like, he has some really cool moments in this, What's up, Heathmar, by the way? But yeah, like, this video was really good, and you could tell that I put a lot of love and care into this one, as opposed to maybe some of the later ones. I really thought this video out way before it was even close to being created, so that's probably a big reason why.
The result of this was the most competitive period in the history of Sonic Adventure
Still
2
true.
Battle speedrunning. The world record was broken 10 times during a 17-month period held by 4 different runners. This was unheard of in Hero Story to this point. This highly competitive era was driven forward in large part due to the new discoveries in quite a few stages. The first being a more consistent Final Rush skip, replacing the older, riskier version.
Now, there was already a Final Rush skip before the recent discovery.
Shout out to Dark Bro.
But it was extremely risky. The recent discovery, which I'll be showing you today, is far more consistent. Reward of 10 seconds is far offset by the complete lack of risk in this.
The other discovery found shortly after was Crazy Gadget Skip, which
You
allowed
stupid
you to pop
bitch.
earlier and get to the goal ring faster than ever. The runner, A Mustache, who was already incredibly close to world record, used these to seal the deal and started a new era built on improved fundamentals and innovation.
Oh god, that was terrible. Anyway, so the funny part about this, okay, so down here I say shout out to Summoning Salt for keeping this footage alive. So the reason that I said that was because Mustache had actually unlisted all of his runs, but I thought he deleted them. So technically they're still alive, and he has said to me before that if I ask, I could maybe use some of them for a video in the future, which is awesome because it sucks to lose world records, and if you're trying to make a history video about it, it sucks when you don't have it. And I didn't have so many parts of Mustache's run, and trying to make, you know, points about his records is really hard when you don't have footage. So shout out to Mustache. Yeah, he has his reasons for not wanting them to be public, but they're still alive, and I appreciate that a lot.
After this first run, the door seemed to open up for runners. The run that seemed impossible to beat had been topped. And with that, we're brought back to Green Forest and the new strategies found here. This strategy was originally thought to have been task only with Sonic's bounce upgrade.
Look at this shit, dude. This is so crazy.
Runners found a method to use this strategy in a story viable way. The Green Forest
What the
wall
fuck?
When you touch a loop, Sonic gains special physics that allows him to run on walls and grants him extra speed. Green Forest wall run is done by touching the back of the loop and flinging Sonic towards the tree. While this skip was possible to do in a run setting, it was one of the hardest skips for runners to add in Hero Story. Adding another point of potential reset truly made this stage a lot more menacing. There are 3 different types of wall runs, all varying in difficulty. The bungee skip variant, moonshot, and what's known as task run. Here's a comparison so you can see the differences in real time.
These comparisons I really wanted to show off as well. So this is kind of what I wanted people to do in the video, and I think maybe I should have done this differently so people could see it better. So here's what we're gonna do. Watch the one on the right.
It's task run.
Watch the one on the right, task run.
Here's a comparison so you can see the differences in real time.
So task run, you spin dash, and then you run instead of just going straight up. Boom, you land.
As task run.
But this is kind of a lot to ask from people.
Here's a
The difference in the one on the middle and the left is
see
they
the
just run
differences
straight
in
up.
real time.
Spin dash, or this one goes up. And then this one does bungee skip. It's kind of hard to like pay attention to everything. I don't know. In hindsight, what maybe I should have staggered them more, but I wanted to show in real time what the difference was, you know? So I don't know. Maybe that was kind of a fuck up. But I still thought it was cool, at the very least, to have an accurate timing. And, you know, I only did like 10 of each to try to get the most optimal one.
In a world record.
So it's probably not the best testing, but anyway.
He did get the loop speed required to stick to the tree, but unfortunately wasn't able to complete the skip. Shabaka ends up losing
The sussy
here,
wall run.
but it shows that it's very possible to be done in a run setting. Emma Rua had the first successful wall run in a world record, netting him a really solid time. A time that was entirely unattainable before
Just
the
quit
skip.
through the floor.
Using the moonshot method to skip the entire tree climbing section as well as the bungee section saved about 12 seconds if done well. This wasn't the only innovation in 2016 for Green Forest, however. You've seen him before in this very video, the speedrunning scientist who had helped discover and work on many different new strategies during this era.
God.
Enter Dark Pro. Dark
That
Pro
wall run is so
introduced what
weird.
is now referred to as mini wall run or loop run. While not as major a skip as normal wall run, this new skip saved about 2 seconds. This is done by spin dashing off of a slope and landing on the wall while keeping your momentum, and if done properly, you are able to run all the way up the wall, skipping the loop. Dark Pro had also implemented the new and improved wall run variant, Task Run, we had mentioned
Mini
earlier.
wall run.
This variant saves a few seconds, although it adds another degree of difficulty to the skip. Dark Pro's run here showed that this stage had extreme variance even among top runners. It was just hard to string together a run with all of these new strategies and have good movement at the same time. There was still more to come for Green
Dude, look at
Forest,
this
but
shit though,
that
dude.
would
Like fucking 117 in 2016. This dude was gaming, for real.
have to wait for
Actually
another era.
crazy. I'd have to wait for another era. The era of KD4. I didn't really want to say the era of KD. Because, like, as influential and as dominant as KD has been, there is so many other good and amazing runners. Like, I feel like saying it's just the era of KD is, like, pretty disrespectful to, like, your fucking traders, your Idens, your Seraphims, your Lexis, your Auras, your Drums, you know? Like, there are so many good fucking players right now in this day and age. And it's like, KD beats them all in most categories. But I still think this is a really competitive era, even if Katie is winning most of the time. Winning more often, the most winningest, you could say.
We're now in the current era of Sonic Adventure 2 battle speedrunning, but there's still a lot to catch up on. Katie's first record was one to break a year-long drought of world records for Hero Story, and has held the record since. The Green Forest in this run wasn't so different than Dark Pro's. In fact, the times were only tenths apart. Katie steadily improved her Green Forest times over the years, pushing it lower and lower from movement alone.
Yeah, Katie just literally played more consistent.
A new trick was discovered by the
Dark
community
Pro.
named Air Yeezy. Discovered by Taco in 2019.
I love the meme, dude. I had to throw the meme in there. I wasn't gonna say like it's a DJ Khaled reference or some shit or a meme reference, but I had to put it in the video. And I'm pretty sure it is based off of this picture.
It was discovered by the community named
Air Yeezy. This is why it's named Air Yeezy.
Air Yeezy. Discovered by Taco in 2019.
Dude, shout out to Taco. I love that he's literally just adding Dark Pro. The tweet doesn't say anything. It just says @DarkPro. I fucking love Taco, dude. He's amazing. Like, Taco's actually, like, pretty close to the Dark Pro of this era. He's, like, one of the only people actively pushing, like, Hero Story strats. I don't think, like, almost literally anyone else is. Or at least he's the person to get shit done. You know what I mean? Because, like, he found Air Yeezy. He's continuing to optimize Egg Golem. He found OBT. He's definitely one of, like, I mean, since, like, 2019. I mean, I think there's, like, 2 other discoveries, which was Fling and Bofa in the last few years. Everything else has really been Taco in, like, Hero or Dark, I feel like.
Discovered by Taco in 2019.
I'm sure there's more,
saves
but
about 2 seconds and
Taco just finds a lot, and it's kind of crazy.
pushes the Green Forest average time down quite significantly, as seen by Katie's time in this world record.
Dude, the 113? The 113 in May 2020? Goddamn!
Very easy is performed by having Sonic land on the rail and instantly jumping off. This gives Sonic the correct gravity needed to be able to land on this invisible wall and wall run, skipping the entire spring here and the animation with it. Another new trick named Air Jordan, discovered with combined efforts of Katie and Modified Monkey, was now a part of Hero Story runs. This strategy also saved about 2 seconds and was able to push down Green Forest even more. Air Jordan is done by spin dashing onto a tree, which acts almost like a slope in this instance, giving Sonic a lot of height and allows
I didn't
Sonic
say
to
spin
skip
dash
the spring,
hovering.
which has a long animation.
Maybe that's
This
why
strategy
M
wasn't the most difficult.
Maybe that's why M was just spin dashing onto the tree. Dude, what if I gave him the wrong impression and he fucked up Air Jordan for a really long time because of me? I'd be so sad if that was the reason. Because, like, literally yesterday, he was still doing Air Jordan without hovering. And he was like, dude, why do I, like, just never get height? And I didn't realize that he wasn't hovering. And what if it's because of this video? Because he watched this video, like, 10 times. I'm gonna cry if that's the reason, dude. Fuck.
Difficult, but it did add yet another element of risk in the stage that just wasn't present in this section.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you need more height, you should probably just hover. But maybe he's thinking about it. I don't know.
Before. During this era, Katie and other top runners continued pushing Green Forest times lower and lower.
Wait, what the fuck? Katie had a sub 630 in this run? What the fuck? Like, now that I know split times better, this is a really good time. Like, this is, like, better than I get, like, most of the time. This is when I say that I'm still catching up to some of Katie's ILs from, like, 2019, 2020. Like, this is what I mean. Because Katie's just fucking insane at execution.
Getting every last second
Like, I've gotten times better than this, but only a couple, probably.
they could out of the stage. We've now seen all of the improvements that have taken place over the course of this stage's history. Now, the one thing we still don't know, what time is possible with all of these new strategies? Well, fortunately, we have a run that shows off just what is possible in Green Forest. This is the Green Forest Story Style World Record, done
And you're
by
watching it.
KD4.
Shout out to KD4. really fucking clean run. Wait for the pop off. Pause champ.
Juju on that beat.
Juju on that beat.
Greatest run of the thing. That's so sick.
This is the greatest run. It's so sick. It really was. Dude, so also I'm still unsure about how I feel, but these little chapter cards were cool. But also there was like some, I was like, how the fuck do I call it? Like ending, fucking what? So I just got rid of them after this video. Which I don't know, maybe one day I'll bring them back. It's just definitely going to depend on the video. Also, so yeah, in this video, I literally decided my intro and my outro song for every single video in this series. Every single video. This is my outro. I like it a lot. I had another song.
And now we're all caught up.
But it got DMCA striked. And I don't think it's actually DMCA. I think it was a false claim. But I wasn't going to upload it with a monetization strike. Which is really sad.
Over the course of the last decade, Green Forest time has gone down quite substantially due to so many amazing members of the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle speedrunning community. Thank you to everyone who has helped Theorycraft and helped to innovate Green Forest, as well as the runners who took these strategies and pushed them to their absolute
Shout
limit.
out to the gamers.
As far as this stage has come,
Aura.
I'm sure we'll be able to find even more to
Let's
continue
go.
optimizing the stage. Whether it be by movement,
Hey, that's
strategies,
Aiden.
or anything else, this
That's
time
another
we
cool
will
guy.
continue to improve.
Hey, that's
If
Trader.
I'm speedrunning,
Another cool guy.
Innovation will always be right around the
Hey, that's
corner.
me.
This is Speedrun
Evolution.
Evolution.
Vibe. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so one last thing before we're done. I was really fucking proud of this video. Let me see one more thing, actually. So we're going to pull up two things while we're watching this. Since I made this video, this is probably, what, like 6-7 months after, Katie actually got a new story style world record. Beat that one by about 1.5 seconds, so let's watch that. There is actually one new strat that she added, which saves just under a second. So it's still a cleaner run with a faster strat. So yeah, this strat right here. This is the thing that was done in ILs. Katie, not all the time, but she's been doing this in runs. So what happens here? As you know, our game goes primarily off the in-game timer. When the in-game timer is stopped, it's stopped. We don't continue counting this time. So you death strat here to stop the timer, and while you're dead, you spin dash hover, and hit the checkpoint. And this is possible to be done in a story, but you barely hit this checkpoint, and if you miss the checkpoint, you lose that 12 seconds completely. You have to restart the stage. But Katie hit it. Can I show analytics on stream? I think that should be fine, right?
I don't trust this. I see.
Shout out to Tortellini. Mr. Tortellini.
That's a new story style record. Kinda sucks.
New story style record.
7. Cringe.
Cringe. Alright. So, Katie improved it. The one new strat, but I mean, really, it only saves like one, right? Yeah, you can only respawn from it once in story style. Just like a run, you're not checkpoint abusing. So, here's my analytics. Let's show first, let's go till January 8th. where it starts kind of falling off and it's kind of whatever. The first couple weeks. Alright, so the video starts off. Keep in mind, I have very little subs at this point. I have probably under 100. I think I have about 50 subs. I am like popping off because I'm like at like 400 views. It is by far my best video that like was by my own merit. And it just keeps going up. And then I go home for Christmas. I go home for Christmas the day it uploads. And then I'm just chilling there. And then like after Christmas, I'm staying at my grandparents' house with my family. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, dang, this thing just passed 1K. That's awesome. Dude, my video went crazy. Holy shit. And then it just keeps going. And I'm like, huh, it's just not stopping. We hit 2K. That's awesome. And then the next day I'm like, oh shit, we're almost at 4K. And then it just keeps going. And it really just popped off in the algorithm. In the span of 2 weeks, I mean, it got basically like almost 2K views a day by the end of this 2 weeks. And it just continually went. I'm pretty fucking happy with how this video did. I was genuinely very surprised that it did as well as it did. But yeah, that was Speedrun Evolution. Yeah, that was my very first video that I ever made for that really popped off due to my own merit, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of how I view it. Because my other video that popped off was just fucking like, I don't know, it's just lame. Anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoyed it.